From lunatic YouTuber to EU politician. The story of... I can't pronounce the name, guys. Fidias? Panayiotou. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. Now let's see.
Practically official. Japan is the best country on planet Earth.
Let's go.
Not only is it back to its pre-pandemic touristic numbers, but it's beating every single record it held beforehand. But unfortunately, when you have so many apples going through the Japanese system, a bunch of rotten apples will inevitably show up.
Oof.
In the case of nuisance influencers in Japan specifically, most people will think of the example of Johnny Somali, an American live streamer who went there, completely disrespected Japanese culture, and was even racist and obnoxious towards its citizens. But if you've been on the internet for long enough, then you know for a fact that this isn't the first time Japan has had to endure something like this. I just can't seem to remember who did it first, though. I need a clip to refresh my memory or something.
I think there's someone hanging right there.
Oh my god.
Okay, all right. I think that definitely...
But yeah, I think it's the one started. I even have this like realization before, like, oh my god, it's actually start from Logan Paul.
rings a bell. Yep, thank you so much. Look, the idea of lunatic YouTubers that would do anything just to get some views on their channel isn't new. It's been around for a very long time, but recently it's been more and more prevalent. But what does that really mean for the average person? For most people, these influencers are nothing more than distant clowns. Their actions, while ridiculously stupid, will never really directly have an effect on their lives. But, worryingly enough, that could be changing sooner rather than later. As more time passes, YouTubers are expressing a bigger interest in running for political office. Like how at some point, Mr. Beast said, if we lower the age to run for president...
I have seen this. I thought he's joking, but I feel like he's actually being serious.
Jump in the race. Receiving, of course, a worrying amount of support, but these people probably thought he was joking.
Yeah, I thought he was joking.
He was not. He doubled down on a podcast saying, no, don't worry, I am running for president, but probably when I'm older in my 50s or 60s. Now look, sorry to burst your bubble. I know you're very excited to watch $1 missile versus $1 million missile on Middle Eastern children, but this isn't the first time that a celebrity has toyed with the idea of becoming a politician. The reality is, though, that while it does sound good on paper, it ends up being very disappointing. But that doesn't mean that you should celebrate just yet. What if I told you that there was a lunatic YouTuber who flew all the way to Japan just to commit crimes in order to film a video? The same YouTuber who showed the world that he lacked complete self-awareness by making a video thumbnail like this one with the title of I spent 100 hours in the world's poorest country. So what if I told you that this YouTuber not only became a politician, but holds such a high office that he can vote on laws that influence over 450 million people? You'd probably think that I'm absolutely crazy.
Wait, for real? He succeeds?
Lost my mind. Well, I really do wish that I was joking. Because this YouTuber, ever since the summer of 2024, has been a European Union Parliament member. Now you'd think, okay, fine, I guess he cleaned up his act if he's going to become a politician. Well, no, he's causing drama within the European Parliament, going as far as to go up against the vice president of the parliament in TikTok drama, okay?
TikTok
They're literally out here calling each other out back and forth on Twitter videos. It's absolutely wild, but I also have a feeling that it won't be the last time that we'll see a lunatic YouTuber make it to politics. This is why we have to talk about it. Let's do this. So, Fidias Panayiotou is a YouTuber that hails from the little country of Cyprus. His YouTube channel currently sits at over 2.7 million subscribers, and what he did to reach this milestone was actually fairly straightforward. From the beginning, it was very clear who his inspirations on YouTube were.
Oh my god, his inspiration is Mr. Beast? Alright, says a lot, huh?
His video pacing, as well as his ideas, were heavily inspired by YouTubers like Mr. Beast. This can be seen in this video, for example, titled I Said Mr. Beast 1 million times. Very similar to one of Mr. Beast's early viral videos titled Saying PewDiePie 100,000 times. But as time went by, Fidias started to realize that Mr. Beast wasn't going to be his...
Mr. Beast. If Mr. Beast gets voted as president, I mean, you know, I'm not from America. He's American, right? So... it would be funny for me, but oof, it says a lot how people vote their president in that country. Just like, oh, nah, come on.
Ticket to fame. That's when he set his sights on someone else for his ultimate inspiration, Airrack. A YouTuber that had gained prominence by trespassing into multiple locations while stalking Logan Paul.
Oh my god, is that Logan Paul?
He had successfully done so multiple times and was able to build a name for himself. Now sitting at over 15.6 million subscribers.
Logan Paul.
Fidias saw this and decided that he would do the exact same thing to Airrack. This is when he would make the video, "This is how I met Airrack," back in the beginning of 2021, where he would fly out from Cyprus all the way to Los Angeles just to meet Airrack in order to give him a gift. This video feels like a reenactment of a true crime documentary. Like, think about it. A dude obsessed so much with a celebrity that he's willing to travel through continents and do everything in their power to meet with them. There's been restraining orders issued for less than that. Okay, this is crazy. His plan was to get his community to spam the ever-living shit out of Airrack and his team in order for him to meet him. And by using the power of TikTok's algorithm...
So harass... And it worked, really? If it worked, then it means it proves to him that if I keep harassing and pushing the line, it's gonna eventually work. So I'm gonna do it all the time. Just saying.
He actually managed to do it.
Will not stop until I give this box to Airrack.
So the message had reached Airrack, he found it funny, and he actually ended up meeting with him. He was initially kind of scared, and I mean, why wouldn't he? He's literally meeting a stalker, but things carried on pretty positively. He ended up opening the mystery box, and the video performed very well. But here's the thing. It really doesn't take a genius to understand that Fidias had a lot of potential. The guy was a lunatic and would do anything for views.
To achieve his goal. So, yeah. Enough harassment, you can achieve your dream. Damn, let's go. Wait, what?
So Airrack had the brilliant idea of keeping him around. You would start to see Fidias appearing in Airrack's videos, but you would also see Airrack appearing in Fidias.
Wait, they become bros? Wait.
Fidias' videos like Airrack controls my life for 24 hours straight. This gave Fidias exactly what he wanted. It legitimized him and his channel, allowing him to not only be present in Los Angeles, but also get to meet some of the top YouTubers in the space.
These connections
allowed him to create his magnum opus, his most viewed YouTube video of all time, titled "I Hugged the World's Top 100 Celebrities." It was evident that Fidias' influence had grown exponentially since the first person he was hugging in this video was Mr. Beast himself, his first ever inspiration. He then went on to hug other celebrities. Oh my god, this aged so badly. This aged so badly. Oh my god. Anyway, most of the people in this video were his friends in some capacity. His main goal was the 100th person, which was going to be Elon Musk. Now, yeah, sure, Elon's mother, May Musk, might have complained that she was getting harassed on all platforms because of Fidias' community, with so many of them begging...
Oh god, and his fan base is gonna keep growing and harass people because that's what he do, right? So his fans gonna be the same with him. Oh god.
Her to ask Elon to hug him, and I guess Fidias did camp out for 46 days outside the Twitter headquarters hoping to catch Elon leaving to hug him. But look, what matters in the end is that he did it, guys. Elon actually invited him over and hugged him, and not because he was scared of probably getting murdered if he said no. This was easily the biggest moment in his YouTube career so far, even though his methods were crossing every line of privacy and were borderline on the verge of stalking. He spun it off as some inspirational message for perseverance and that you too can do whatever you wish to do if you set your sights on it.
Ooh. You too can, hug your favorite idol if you harass them till they agree to it. Is that a positive message? What?
And it almost seemed like he was on top of the world. But even with all these influential friends and all these views, nothing at his disposal could have shielded him from the backlash that his own stupidity would generate. Before committing crimes in Japan, his first major drama involved this video with this thumbnail, titled, "I spent 100 hours in the world's poorest country."
This is the world's poorest country, and there is a lot of bad things said about it.
What is he doing spinning like this, bro? What's going on?
My own eyes, if it's true or not.
He made this video out to be a way for him to raise awareness about the living conditions in Burundi. But it's actually a very hard video to watch if you have any sense of self-awareness. Viewers did not appreciate the way he was...
YouTuber have self-awareness, guys? That's so funny. In the same sentence, YouTuber and self-awareness. Like, don't stalk, guys. Please do not stalk a girl waiting for like 47 days. Hopefully she's gonna hug you. No, it's not gonna work out. It's just like Elon Musk, please.
Interacting with the local population, appearing to never take anything seriously, and acting more like a tourist in a zoo rather than someone who was concerned about the living conditions of people in Burundi.
Here's your 50 cents. Thank you.
He also said very inspirational things like this.
I just wanted to say, guys, that poor doesn't mean bad. Poor is like being tall or short. It's just a fact and doesn't define you.
I wanted to see the poor.
Look, I'm not a doctor, but
Poor is being short or tall. What? It doesn't affect you.
this lack of self-awareness should definitely be classified as a major disorder.
What is
because
it?
holy shit, this can't be real, but it is. Anyway, based on the dislike ratio, I'm sure you can tell it wasn't a very popular video and many YouTubers criticized him. One could say that it was his first major controversy of this level. Usually, when a creator is faced with this many dislikes...
PewDiePie, not the bridge! No. Yeah, I know this, yeah.
And so much
PewDiePie,
criticism,
no!
they take a step back. Maybe they apologize. Maybe they start making content with a different point of view. But seeing that we're dealing with someone who lacks all sense of self-awareness, it only had the opposite effect. And it's what led up to more crazy, stupid content. The next step in Fidias' evolution was committing crimes in foreign countries, starting with the UK. This all happened in a now deleted video titled "I Traveled Across the Entire UK for Free." His goal was to go from Brighton all the way to the north of the UK for free. He started by sneaking inside a bus's luggage compartment instead of paying $3 for a ticket, hoping to go through the entire ride for free. He was then, in the dumbest way possible, caught by the bus driver and was forced to flee after he threatened to call security. As if that wasn't bad enough, after running away, he goes to the train station and starts begging random people for money in order for him to buy a train ticket. After successfully begging for a ticket, it wasn't enough to cover his destination. So he ended up getting on the train illegally and staying in the bathroom throughout the entire thing in order to not get caught. Oh, and let's not forget, in the bathroom while he was on the train illegally, he had a sponsor to share with all of us. Like, this is insane.
He got sponsor for doing illegal activity. Oh my god. YouTube? Really? Oh, come on, YouTube. You can do better, no? Come on.
You can't make this up. This is a YouTuber disrespecting a foreign country's public transport system.
Wow.
But people didn't take it as seriously because it was the UK. So of course he wasn't going to take a step back. He did it again in a different country. This time though, he faced a lot of backlash. What really started the first big wave of international controversy was him traveling to India, more specifically Bengaluru, where for an Instagram reel, he showed himself getting on a metro for free by not paying in the most obnoxious way imaginable. Watch.
I will teach you how to get the metro in India for free. Do you
Okay,
think I will
you
get it
teach
for
us?
free or no?
I don't think so.
I will try to prove him wrong.
Let's hope for the best.
Guys, he's showing all the illegal activity. Oh my god, oh my god, who am I asking? Johnny Somali do it too. You know, he's been he's been released all the time. Oh my god, alright, I got my answer already. Yeah, I was gonna say, he's showing all the illegal activity, but you know, how did he get away with this? Oh, oh my god.
This video was massively disliked, especially by Indians, with many of them arguing that if they were to do something like this in a foreign country, they would get crucified. You gotta wonder if Fidias would be okay with me going to Cyprus and dodging every bill if it was for a video. But this backlash barely did anything to him. He didn't apologize and he did not stop. In fact, he brought it to the next level, as he always did. I mean, of course he did. This time, he decided to do the same thing he did in India and the UK, but in Japan, taking it a step further, barely a month after Johnny Somali had gotten in trouble in that country. Now again, this video was taken down and we'll get to why later, but
This
for the
is
time
thumbnail?
being, the original title of the video was
This is thumbnail. Oh my
I
god.
traveled across Japan for free, and this is a re-upload. Fidias and a bunch of other foreign YouTubers wanted to travel the entirety of Japan, but for free without paying for
He got friends with him now. Wow, doing criminals activity together, huh? Let's
anything.
see.
The video starts off with massive secondhand embarrassment with him begging for money from a local. Yes, and the worst part is we're only getting started. He then got on a bus hoping to use the money there, and in Japan you pay when you leave the bus. However, when he was about to leave, the bus driver told him that it was 680 yen. He only had 600. He was 80 yen short and tried to act stupid so he can leave the bus, but the bus driver wouldn't let him. Fidias kept acting purposefully stupid, saying, I don't understand what this guy's saying. I mean, obviously he's speaking in Japanese. And so the bus driver ended up calling the police on him, and Fidias was escorted to the police station. According to Fidias, though, the biggest tragedy wasn't him being almost detained in a foreign country, it was this.
They interrogated me and they took my phone away, so I couldn't film anything.
Come on, guys, why are Japanese people so against content? I'm trying to make a living here. Like, come on.
They took away my phone. Oh my god, no. How could I record this now?
Now, for some reason, the police decided to let him go. Probably
No.
thinking it's some dumb foreigner that just didn't know how to pay for the bus.
no.
And so what was the first thing he decided to do? Maybe reflect, take a step back on how he could have
I know,
been detained
continue
at
doing
any
this.
second there? No, it was to commit another crime. He took inspiration from his trip to the UK and thought to himself that he could pull the same thing in Japan by staying in the bathroom for the duration of the trip and not paying in the Japanese metro. But Japan isn't the UK. The police knew what he was up to and were waiting for him outside the bathroom as soon as he tried to get out, something that Fidias wasn't expecting. For some reason though, again, they let him go temporarily and he decided to run for it, losing them in the process and getting to the next metro before they could catch up to him. Again, I don't know how he got away with this, but
He succeeded on running away. What? Oh my god.
seems-
He's getting all the luck. Alright, I'm just saying this, but he's using all the luck. How did he get so lucky every time?
like Japanese police were giving him way too much benefit of the doubt. Look at how smug this guy is. He's so happy he just committed a crime in a foreign country and got away with it. And he wasn't the only one. This is another YouTuber from this YouTuber squad doing the same exact thing. He wouldn't stop there though. To make matters worse, he snuck into a 5-star hotel and got to a buffet in which he ate food he hadn't paid for since he's not a guest and got away with it, okay? Again, taking advantage of Japanese hospitality and absolutely making a fool of himself while not even realizing it because he lacks all sense of self-awareness. Again, look at how smug he looks, how happy he is that he committed a crime. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this happened barely 1 month after Johnny Somali had done his antics in Japan. People were already very fed up with YouTubers ruining foreigners' reputation in the name of content, and there he was doing it all over again. Moist Critical made a video talking about this, titled "Committing Crimes for YouTube Views is Crazy," and many other YouTubers talked about this as well, such as PewDiePie, Abroad in Japan, you name it. People were so fed up with this, it was insane. This topic was getting so big that even Business Insider wrote about it. A YouTuber is getting dragged for saying he traveled across Japan for free by begging and hiding in train toilets to hitch free rides. At this point, it was getting way too big for Fidias to ignore like he usually does, so he apologized. But
Now he
believe it or-
apologized. The India case is like, it is what it is. Or even the UK, no one cares. But Japan, oh, it's getting traffic. I'm getting backlash, but I'm getting attention, so... Yes, I'm sorry.
not, his
I guess.
apology was worse than Logan Paul's apology.
No way, really?
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Instead of it being an apology video or anything that
Wait, just comment. Like, pin the comment, really? Okay.
people can actually see, he just decided to
Love you
comment
all.
this on the video itself, saying, "Hello, beautiful people. I apologize to the Japanese people
Oh
if we
my
made
God.
them feel bad. That was not our goal. From now on, I am going to make more research to the cultures we go to and try to prevent this from happening again. I love you."
Research to the cultures. But it's basic law. And you don't break the law in all the countries. So, again, it's a basic manners and law.
All. Well, Fidias, I'm sure the 5 people who like this comment genuinely understand your remorse because
Maybe they're
truly,
bots.
this is probably the first time I see someone with a controversy this big apologize with such a badly written comment. Google Translate from Greek to English would have written something better than this, okay? This is not even an exaggeration. The apology was so bad that it added even more fuel to the fire, and YouTube actually issued a warning to Fidias and removed 5 of his videos that were too controversial, including the Japanese one and the one in the UK in which he sat in the luggage compartment of a bus. Japan then proceeded to investigate his train fare dodging, but it was a bit too late since he had already left the country. Look, over time, this novelty
Just
of this
warning?
lunatic that was copying Mr. Beast's style was wearing off. His views that were once in the millions would gradually start to disappear, and his upload schedule would gradually become worse and worse. The Japan video and his complete lack of self-awareness in his other videos contributed to absolutely destroying his reputation. People just did not like him as much as they used to anymore. Not to mention that the people who
I'm just surprised there's even like people liking him in the first place, just saying.
helped legitimize him also cut contact with him after his many controversies. Things were looking very bad for Fidias. This is where he would turn his attention to his next endeavor. And it's something that no one could have ever seen
The
coming.
man
The
plot
European Union has its
now?
elections held every 5 years, and the
politician,
next
yeah.
one was about to be in the summer of 2024. Now, every country in the European Union has seats in the European Parliament. The amount of seats is based on multiple factors, but Cyprus, being a part of the European Union, has 6 seats. Members of the European Parliament vote on laws that affect the entirety of the European Union. This is why it's fairly important to vote for people who you identify with, because they're not just going to influence your country, but the entirety of the European Union. Fidias would go back to Cyprus and create a YouTube channel by the name of Fidias Cyprus. He saw how much there was a disconnect between Cypriot citizens and their politicians, so he felt that it was a good opportunity to actually sit down and interview the candidates running for European Parliament. He made several podcasts with several different candidates, but eventually something clicked. All of a sudden, on April 2024, barely 2 months before the European Parliament elections, he got up on stage to announce his candidacy beside his father.
Sorry, but why does he wear like Conan? Red tie? Blue suit? Looks the same drape, you know, just saying. Interesting.
Who is a priest, and man, did the apple fall very far from the tree. Almost every politician in Cyprus saw this as a joke because there has never been a person who won as an independent since Cyprus had joined the European Union. But regardless, he did it anyway. He wanted to bring something new and different for the voters because he was tired of politicians serving only their personal interests. This was yet another time in which he put his perseverance to the test, but thankfully without stalking anyone or committing any crimes. There were articles written about him. He was making waves because, typically, in Cyprus specifically, the European election sees a high level of voter absenteeism. For Cyprus in particular, barely half of the population even bothers voting. Seeing an influencer they recognized motivated more of them to actually vote during this election. Even
Okay. Wait. He admits he knows nothing about politics. What? And you guys vote him, really? Okay.
Even though he admitted that he knows nothing of politics, but ran anyway because he can't abide by the continued rules of nerds in Brussels. It's a great campaign story, you gotta admit. But in the end, it was effective. The votes were finally in for the European elections of...
Motivate. He motivate them to vote. And get them hooked. Voting for him actually works, okay? How? After his record of like breaking rules, maybe they're thinking like, he's a changed man now. Yeah, I agree with him.
2024,
Seriously?
and it turned out that one of the winners
Imagine someone voting Logan Paul as president. Just saying.
was Fidias. He was the first independent in history to have won in Cyprus, and the turnout was way higher than usual,
Oh my
almost
God.
14 percentage points higher than the last European Parliament election. He was third in terms of votes and had secured 1 seat in the European Parliament, beating some political parties that have been established for decades. He, of course, in Fidias fashion, had to make a video about it immediately
How I
after,
won
and even
election.
had a wonderful sponsor for everyone to enjoy.
How I won a
It was a
election, making a YouTube video, and that's a ads for that. Damn.
official. Cyprus had elected a 24-year-old lunatic YouTuber to represent them in the European Parliament.
Oh,
It felt like a
God.
fever dream, but it was reality. The Tokyo Weekender says this election is both a symptom and a symbol of our times, and I tend to agree. We're going to be seeing this a lot more in the future. One of the
Ooh,
first
that's
votes
bad.
that Fidias was going to participate in is voting for the next president of the European Commission, who was at the time Ursula von der Leyen. He decided to base his opinion on a Twitter poll. I'm not even kidding. He said, "Do you want me to vote for Ursula von der Leyen to remain as president of the European Commission? Whatever you say, I will do." And the majority said no, sitting at 121,000
Oh.
votes. It didn't matter since she ended up winning anyway and is now serving a second term, but it showed that His political career, much like his YouTube career, was going to be very unpredictable.
Imagine the politician, result is from Twitter voting poll. Isn't that gonna be a funny joke, huh?
And so far,
Chaos?
that's exactly what's been happening. He made a TikTok highlighting how much a European Parliament member makes in terms of monthly income, but also in terms of extra allowances they receive. This video got millions of views because it highlighted that a European Parliament member receives over 60,000 euros a month in terms of both salary and allowances for their team. This information is of course available on the European Parliament website, but let's be honest, who's going to actually bother coming here and reading all this? He received both praise and criticism for his transparency. And when I say criticism, I mean people were pissed that politicians were making this much money.
What the fuck? Wow, dude, you are so honest telling us your income. But, it's a public information. All right.
But don't you dare think for a second that Fidias became a full-fledged serious politician. His need for drama and controversy to fuel his views was still present, evident in him causing drama with the vice president of the European Parliament. Fidias was saying that there are two ways to vote in the European Parliament, either by raising hands or by using the electronic system. He alleged that the vice president of the European Parliament was using the hand gestures on purpose so that he could direct the vote to the result he wanted, showing an example of him making a mistake thinking that the vote was no, and then him redoing it with the electronic votes and it showing that it's a yes. Obviously, the accusation is pretty big because it shows that he can just choose the vote he wants, regardless of what the parliament thinks. This made the vice president of the European Parliament respond directly to Fidias, saying that the video is fake and stitched, all in the name of trying to prove a point that wasn't there, explaining that these were two votes stitched together and that both of them were checked electronically. Fidias then went ahead and made another video showing the raw unedited footage sped up and inviting the vice president of the European Parliament for a debate on his podcast, slowly but surely turning European Union politics into a reality TV show. Now imagine if you had more than one Fidias in the parliament. Yeah, the future looks bleak. This was only one of many controversies of him as a politician. A group that represented missing persons in Cyprus went to Fidias hoping that he can give them a platform in the parliament. They said that the response they got was him mocking them, saying phrases such as, "You think highly of yourselves," or "I have an uncle who is missing, but I'm not doing that." He then made a response in Greek, but the replies were definitely not on his side, saying things like "shame on you, nothing else," "shame," empathy is not saying 2 or 3 more words to people who are still hurting. He
Self-interest? What about now? Damn,
also made a video saying that the main problem in the European Union is that the left isn't talking to the right and that the right isn't talking to the left. But instead of actually making an argument about it, he quoted the foreign minister of Russia from an interview that he had with Tucker Carlson, okay, saying this: "Look, as a European Parliament member, doing this is actually insane. I don't think I need to explain to you why that is." The comments were also absolutely cooking him. It was yet another attempt at getting praised, but due to his lack of self-awareness, he only got cooked for it. Where does that leave us today?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Of course, yeah, he's still lack of self-awareness. Thank God. So, he's gonna be the joke.
Fidias wants to create his own party in the European Parliament. Yep, that's right. Jake Paul had Team 10. Mr. Beast has his own team, and Fidias wants to make his own team, but this time while controlling the lives of over 450 million people in the European Union. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. For now, though, all we know is that he'll be a parliament member for the next 5 years. And I do wonder if by 2029, other YouTubers will get inspired by him and also run for the European elections. I sure as hell really hope that's not the case. Idiot YouTubers need to stay idiot YouTubers. Getting into politics and actually affecting lives of millions of people was never part of the plan, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to vote, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to
vote. The thing is that make sure to vote and vote him. And yeah, he get to do this for 5 years. Holy shit.
It is. Thank you so much for watching. Love you. Mwah.
I can't believe he got so much luck. He get away from everything, right? And then he succeeded on getting a seat in the parliament. And he got all the money and content to milk. Oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah, like he get away from everything, guys. New video making you citizen life with plus 1000% inflation. Now let's go. Nice content. Fidias. How did he do it? maybe his influence is very strong. People actually get charmed by him and vote him for that. Ooh. And now he's gonna get his gang into the parliament. Is that it? And milk the content more. The fact that he's technically a criminal and got voted in surprises me. Yeah. All his criminal records is, in public, internet, all that. People still voting for him. Like, what? I guess just like the video we watched before this. The scary thing is the people that follow them actually watch their content and enjoy what they do. Ooh, that's the scariest part.